something's wrong, and I can't put my finger on it. And do you think it's something going on with Binance or Binance, depending on which part of the world you're from? Do you think it's some big person unloading? To your point about insiders buying and insiders selling, if your goal is to accumulate an asset, you actually don't go out and buy the asset and tell everybody you're buying. What the really smart investors have done over the years is they actually go out and short a little bit of the asset and then tell everybody how crappy the asset is in interviews and stuff, and then go buy it when the price goes down. So again, if you were somebody who was on the verge of being approved for an ETF and you were going to take massive share and you wanted to buy the asset cheap, and maybe you even wanted to put some of your own money in there too, you might be contributing to downward pressure in the short run. So yeah, I think there definitely could be a little bit of that. I still think BlackRock's going to be the first one approved. When that's another question we can probably talk about, but I still think they're going to be the first one approved.
Cryptocurrencies faced a downturn, with Bitcoin slipping under $25,800 and Ethereum sinking to $1,580. Bitcoin's slide below $25,000 triggered concerns. Ethereum also faced a 2.8% drop. Bitcoin is at a crossroads below the 50-day EMA at $25,500. BTC might face resistance around $25,400, with a small bullish correction to $25,600 before a deeper decline to $24,800. An upside breakout above the descending trend line at $25,600 could push Bitcoin to $26,400 or even $46,000. A break below $24,800 could lead to support at $24,000. Crypto's fate is closely tied to the US dollar's movement. Key economic data like the US CPI data is on the horizon, and the crypto market is likely to react accordingly. Arca Invest files for first spot Ether ETF. The proposal is the first of its kind in the US. Let's continue our discussion with Mark Yusko.
There's somebody or some buddies who are selling. And one of the challenges of Bitcoin in particular is it's pretty closely held, right? Not that much of the total market cap actually changes hands on a day-to-day basis. So the free float, so to speak, is pretty low relative to the overall market cap. And so the fact that somebody or somebodies are still selling, because again, for every buyer, there's a seller, I'm just not quite sure where that's coming from, because I would have thought most of the levered longs had already been liquidated, in margin calls a year ago. Liquidity drives markets, and I've said that for forever, and it's really true. And particularly in digital space, particularly, take something like Bitcoin, right? One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin, always will, and it eventually, we all hope, becomes a unit of account the way we think about value. But that's not what people talk about, right? They talk about Bitcoin in something else. In dollars, usually, that's the number most of us talk about. But if you're in Argentina, you're talking about it in pesos, and that's, making new highs lately because the peso's in the toilet. If you're in Argentina, you're talking about it in bolivars, or in Turkey, you're talking about it in lira, all of which are down, those are down. So Bitcoin in those currencies is up. But the rate of change of dollar growth has slowed, and therefore, you think about it, right before the pandemic, we were in that $14,000, $15,000 range. They doubled the money supply, so we should be kind of in the 28-ish range. And we're kind of in the 26 range, so it's kind of where we should be if we think about it in Bitcoin per dollar. So in the absence of a lot of monetary stimulus, there's not a lot of translation change that's going to happen. So I think that's certainly part of it, and that leads to some malaise. Most of the stimulus in the economy is shifted to fiscal, right? Government's still spending like drunken sailor. Actually, I'm not sure a drunken sailor could spend nearly as well as our government. But they pumped $1 trillion into the economy to kind of give us this boost that we felt. Yet, if you ask people how they're feeling about the economy, people aren't jumping up and down, right? Everybody knows somebody who lost their job or got laid off. Spending, while other than Taylor Swift tickets, spending is kind of muted. I mean, it's not rambunctious. So I think macro is medium and maybe even leaning toward downward. Summertime is normally, actual physical summer is normally a time of lower volatility and lower volumes because, people are out. And I think that was true again this year. Now, the difference between traditional markets and digital asset markets, regular markets, when people are away, things just shut down because, the markets are closed more hours than they're open. In the digital world, people can trade anywhere. So in theory, even if you're on vacation, you got your phone with you, you can still be active. But I just feel like there was a lull. And yet we've had some meaningful positive announcements. I think we'll talk about some of them. But generally, this is a meandering time kind of approaching the halving next spring.
Institutional investors are increasingly drawn to Bitcoin due to its compatibility with AI technologies. Nigel Green, CEO of DeVere Group, highlighted 3 key reasons for this synergy. Firstly, in AI, data integrity is paramount, and Bitcoin's blockchain provides a tamper-proof record that ensures data integrity. Secondly, Bitcoin's borderless nature facilitates seamless cross-border transactions ideal for AI companies. Lastly, Bitcoin enables data marketplace platforms where AI-focused firms can access and purchase datasets with ease. FTX reveals $1.1 billion in Solana ahead of court approval for asset sales. Market awaits FTX's court decision on selling over $3.4 billion in crypto assets. Apple secures rights for Sam Bankman-Fried's story. Apple bets $5 million on Bankman-Fried's saga. Binance cuts Polygon NFT support. 6 months after integration, the Binance NFT marketplace will end support for Polygon NFTs. Binance loses 10 key execs over past 2 months amid regulatory pressure. And that concludes an insightful episode of Money TL Case. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.